Hey everyone, it's time to talk about one of my favorite games ever made, Kid Icarus Uprising. This game was awesome. Yeah, from the levels, to the soundtrack, to the story, to the dialogue, to the subject of this video, the boss fights. So to commemorate my relations to this game, I'm going to count down all 24 bosses in the game, from my least favorite to my favorite. So we did. Yeah, okay. Starting with number 24, Hades' Heart. But yeah, let's face it, nobody likes that boss fight. It is extremely annoying. And no, I don't mean it's annoying like hard, because it isn't, but it's annoying like cheap. Why? Because, well, for starters, the boss runs at the speed of sound, which wouldn't be so hard in itself, but then for the second problem, the arena. The arena is a labyrinth. Yeah, and unlike the other bosses in the game, this one doesn't have comical dialogue to distract you from the BS of the fight, or even thoughtful dialogue to distract you, and that's why it's the worst. Anyway, number 23 is Amazon Pandora. And while it is cheap, very much like Hades' Heart, it has one redeeming factor. Yeah, the fact that the whole time you get to hear the hilarious nature, of the three most hilarious characters in the entire game, Palutena, Faridi, and Hades, going at it, constantly arguing with each other. Alright, number 22. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, anyway, number 22 is Pit's Body. Which, much like Hades' Heart, you're at you're at a speed disadvantage. But unlike Hades' Heart, the arena isn't super cramped. Yeah, and however, whereas Hades' Heart, or Heart of Hades is technically called, it is faster than Pit in his own body. The problem is that because something is possessing Pit's body, meaning you have to play as Madness, that's kind of why you're at a disadvantage in terms of speed, because Pit moves at the speed of light. Madness, however, moves at the speed of molasses. Anyway, number 20. Which part is bad that, whereas except for Heart of Hades, whereas every single villain at that point had some kind of spicy dialogue to keep the fight interesting. The problem is that Pit's body is the strong silent type. The only problem with this, if Pit's body actually talked, this would be slightly higher. Anyway, number 20 is Arlon the Serene. Why? The only thing keeping it from being in the top 19 is the fact that is the ending dialogue, where Arlon's already lost it. In the end, it's like the problem with this fight is that, because it's so dark and because it's so dark and Arlon can attack from anywhere in the room, that means, yeah, you kinda can't see his attacks until either A, already throws them at you, or B, you get hit. Meaning the fight is almost impossible if you're playing the chapter on 9.0. Anyway, number 19 is the Aurum core. Why? Because it's not one of those annoying silent bosses. At first, it doesn't seem that bad of a fight. Just shoot between the daps. But that is, however, until the boss starts adding more and more attacks. Because at first, it just spins around and lets you shoot it. But then, once you damage it enough times, it'll then start adding thunderballs. But then once it's into critical HP, it not only it has three things you have to deal with at once: thunderballs and an electrified floor, and the fact that the Aurum core itself will start sucking you in. Yeah, anyway, number 18 is the Aurum generator. Now, the only reason why it beats the Aurum core is that whereas the attacks can be dodged by switching to the rail that the attack isn't on, you can dodge it. Because this is a grinding boss. Anyway, number 17 is Pandora. Hey, the original Pandora. Yeah. Why? Because, on the one hand, the only reason why you have the Aurum core generator is that it's kind of easy. The dialogue is kind of awesome. The only thing you get from number 16 is that, unlike the other fights in the game, Pandora doesn't get any more annoying as the fight goes on. In fact, all she does for the fight, I don't know how her HP is this. Ground pound, fireball, bombs. Ground pound, fireball, bombs. Ground pound, fireball, bombs. Okay, you get the idea. It's even worse when you team up with Pitu. Anyway, number 17. Number 16 is Thanatos. Because besides the fight itself being interesting, and the problem is that unless you're playing on a certain intensity, unless you're playing the fight on a certain intensity, you're quite likely gonna kill. You're quite likely gonna kill Thanatos before he goes into his separate forms. Which they say forms he goes into are as follows. He can turn into his normal state, an atlas foot, a skull-filled jar. And a series of blades. Oh, and a swarm of bats. The only problem is the fact that there's an achievement that requires you to see all his forms before you kill him. The problem is that it's impossible to do unless you go in certain difficulties. Anyway, number 15 is the Chaos Kin. Which basically after you go through 11 waves of enemies just to death to him. And after you have to go through 13 waves of enemies, that can range between underworld forces, juggernauts, Orm force, the Orm forces, and even forces of nature, just to death to him. But the fight itself can be kind of tedious. Why? Because the little pest scampers around like it's his job. And there's really no good dialogue in the boss fight itself, because the best dialogue happens before the fight. Why? Because, well, really, the only memorable piece of dialogue in the entire chapter is their pre-boss battle rallying cry. Don't make me quote it. Fine. Filth of the land, here are words, and see your actions. I am Pit, servant of the goddess of light, and I am Dark Pit, servant to no other but myself. Together we will rain death upon you. So anyone who wants to die, step right up. Anyone who doesn't want to die, too bad. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the best dialogue in the chapter. That's why it's only number 15. Anyway, number 14. Number 14 is the reset bomb pod. Why? Because it's kind of like a mix of the first fight with Pandora and what will later become the gimmick for the Orm generator boss fight. Yeah, specifically, they're in weak point, easy fight. Which really the only threat in the fight against we said bomb pod are the darts. Which, if you're really good at meleeing the darts into the pit, it's very easy to go through the fight itself without taking any damage. Anyway, number 13 is Kratalance the Mighty. Which basically, that's easy because this fight's the obvious weak point on his behind. And this fight is not easy. Why? Because for a giant hunk of rock, he is surprisingly agile. And his moves can range from swinging his weak point around like a staff, to causing sneak attack earthquakes, to throwing all Sonic 1 on, to throwing all Sonic 2 on you by spin dashing into you, to even blowing you sky high. With number 13. The Great Reaper. This fight can be surprisingly tough. Yeah, not because his attacks are annoying, or that's part of the reason, but the main reason is because, well, even on intensity 0, this dude has a lot of HP. Okay, anyway. Number 12 is the Great Sacred Treasure. It's making it be a bit annoying if you don't know what to do. Which isn't really that hard at all. Number 11, Dark Lord Dow. This is going to be pretty tough if you don't know what to do. It's easy. It's like, oh, I agree. The game's already 4 years old at this point, so I'm sure, 5 years old at this point, so I'm sure you already know why the Sacred Treasure fight is tough. Anyway. Number 11 is Phoenix the Immortal, or the Immortal Phoenix, or however his name really is. Why? Because his attacks had me annoying, but jump heads 4. Only thinking number 10 is the fact that the weapon you did for beating him was him for killing him while he's airborne. aka the Phoenix arm is kind of meh. About his face crack and denying it. So number 10. Anyway, number 10. Number 10 is number 10 is the Boss of the Dame's 6th chapter, Dark Pit. Now I know you fans of Dark Pit are gonna rage at me for putting Dark Pit at the bottom of the top 10, but please hear me out. I don't get me wrong, I love Dark Pit as a character, I just don't like him as a boss fight. Why? Because he's more threatening as a mini-boss in Arlon's chapter than as an end boss in his own chapter. Anyway. Number 9 is Goddess Palutena. Now I know Green Scorpion and we do put her at the top of the original list, and I agree, this is an awesome battle. I just don't think it's quite as good as number 1 as when I have them later down the lines. Anyway, number 8, all I have to do is say the character's pre-boss fight quote, and you see what I mean. Enough blabbity blab. Now let's get to the main act. That's right. Number 8 is Phosphora. Yeah, well, because if you know anything about me, which you should, or if there are two things I love characters who have a fetish for, they are as follows: the color blue and speed. And what color is Phosphorus Lightning? Blue. And what's her main boss fight gimmick? Speed. And keeping her there is the fact that this fight is the fact that she can't really screw you over badly if you have paralysis resist equipped before going into her chapter. Wait, number 7 is the Dame's fake out final boss, Medusa. Because the battle is an air fight, and basically, which means you're basically fighting Medusa in the air the whole time. And when you think it's and the first phase, you're mostly trying to close in on her and shoot her until she's taken a certain amount of punishment, and then comes the second phase, where basically Palutena somehow ties down Medusa's joints so she can't move without you shoot her in the face. But then the third phase comes, where he rips off her mask to make her seem more human than she really is, and her hideous face is revealed. And that's anyway. Number 6 is the game's first boss, Twin Bellows. And Twin Bellows is awesome as the first boss, but like all first bosses, he's too easy to make anywhere other than 6th place. And then anyway, number 5 is the Space Kraken. Which the reason why he's number 5 and not in the top 4 is because, well, he's kind of easy. Seriously, the only problem is dodging the laser, but even then, it doesn't hurt that badly if it hits you. All you have to do is just wait for Zeno to try to slap you, dodge it, knock out a tentacle. Once more, wait for the tentacle to slap, dodge it, whack it. And rinse and repeat until you've destroyed all 6 tentacles. You destroyed all 8 of its tentacles. And then boom, out comes its face, and that's when you're ready to bring the pain. And you can take your time because the head never goes down. Anyway, number 5 is Hydra. Because the Hydra heads' bickering is kind of hilarious to listen to. And also, this will show you that the freedom to choose which head you fight at the end. Fun fight, a lot of good options. And regardless of which head you fight at the end, they all have the same attack, that being launching conchos at you, trying to shoot a laser from the head, etc. Anyway, number 4 goes to the final boss of the Aurum Saga, Aurum Pyron, which basically you did a really interestingly philosophical speech about the destructive and nearly sadistic nature of the Aurum. And how they seek only to destroy, kind of like Kafka or the Shroobs. Number 3 is number 3 is the Chariot Master, because this fight has a great sense of speed, a great sense of urgency, and an amazing conflict. Video number 3 is it's kind of easy if you didn't to lead. And number 2, I really tried not to pick a mini boss, but these are random boss options. I don't have much choice to do. My pick for number 2 is Pseudo Palutena. This boss is all kinds of messed up. Because you think you're just fighting Palutena all over then until she reaches half health. Anyway, that something's not right. That this Palutena you're fighting is actually a monstrous hallucination that Dintos made to look like Palutena, to test whether or not you're worthy to wield the great sacred treasure. Okay, now because this video is 24 minutes as it is, I'm just going to skip the recap and go straight to number 1. Number 1 is, disclaimer. Before I tell you what number 1 is, I really tried not to pick the cliche choice for number 1. But This boss is so complete, I just couldn't resist. Oh, here we go. Number 1 is Hades. Dude Lord. Okay. Okay, Sakurai, other danger efforts, take notes. This is how you make a good final boss. First, let's look at the scenario. Basically, the reason why we have to fight Hades is because Hades has been desecrated in souls to make into Monster's underworld army, and Pit can't have that. So we kind of need to take him down. Next, the fight itself. The fight is so complete. It has 6 of the most complete phases in any video game, period. Well, I'm going to start with phase 1. Yeah, phase 1 is a straight up bullet hell fest between the Great Sacred Treasure's Power Ranger bullets and Hades' underworld shots. Once you beat that phase, it then becomes a game of run away from Hades while shooting at him. And then, after you beat that phase, Hades then turns the tables and starts to run away from you, while his face stun ends a core on his underworld cave keep you busy. You just shoot those things, and that's the end of stage 3. Phase 4 is basically where Hades has a little core on his lower half, and basically you need to shoot for as much as you can, only to end with Hades crushing your mech. And then phase 5 is an endurance match, and in phase 5 Hades tries to finish you off. After that phase is just to add the lock-on reticle to keep it locked onto Hades until the meter of the mysterious force's attack finishes charging. At which point Medusa Falcon punches his Hades in the face. Only for Hades to kill her right afterwards. Which then leads into phase 6. An endurance battle where you must survive with your remaining chunks of HP. Until the dawn of the Great Sacred Treasure is fully charged, which sets Hades firing into death laser, which sets Pit firing into death laser that kills Hades in one blow. And so I talk about the scenario and the fight itself. But I'm forgetting one thing that made pretty much 90% of the other fights on this list so awesome. That being the constant quips that Pit and Hades throw back at each other. Why? Because think about it. Pit is a smart-mouthed hero. Hades is a smart-mouthed villain. In other words, they are literally perfect foils for each other. Both are smart-mouthed. However, Pit is a good guy. Hades is a pure, unspeakably, despicably evil sadist. And there you have it. I'm Jason Dobrin, and while I accept that it may be predictable to put Hades at number 1, go ahead. Then I offer anyone who gives me a challenge, go ahead. Play Kidder's Uprising and find any boss fight in the game that's more complete than Hades. I dare you. I double dare you. Who commenters? Oh wait, you can't. Because Hades is not only the best final boss in the game, he's the best final boss in in history. I'm just and long live Hades. Oh, and before I go, one more thing. Sakurai, I want it. Shada Conroy wants it. Your fans want it. So get off your butt and make a new Kid Icarus game. Why? Because fans don't want to have to wait 25 years for another Kid Icarus game, like they did between the NES and Game Boy titles and Uprising. Come on, Sakurai, do it. Hades is the best boss in history. The best final boss in game in history, like it or not. And Sakurai make a new Kid Icarus game already. Fans don't want to wait 25 years for it. And that's my spiel.